Good day, everyone. So, we are Group 6, and the lesson task for us to report is Lesson 6, which tackles about kinetics of rectilinear translation analysis as a particle. So, our group members are Kyle Mendez, Jom Lizario Adriano, Jose Angelo Calalo, Carla Mica Barles, and yours truly, Apriles Pedido. Mm. So without further ado, let's start the lesson, which will be started by Kyle Mendez.
So, good day everyone. I'm Kyle Mendez, and so our group is assigned to discuss the topic kinetics of rectilinear translation analysis as a particle. So, syempre, before tayo mag-solve ng any problem, we first need to understand the basic concepts behind this topic. So, in this part, I'll explain what kinetics is, what rectilinear translation means, what particle analysis is, and how to draw a free body diagram. So, napaka-importante nitong mga concepts na to in order for us to fully understand anong nangyayari sa kinetics. So first, what is kinetics? So, kinetics is the branch of mechanics that studies how forces affect the motion of an object, meaning kinetics considers the forces that affects or causes the motion. So, in simple words, whenever an object moves because of a push, a pull, or a gravity, we use kinetics to understand why it moves and how those forces affects its motion. So, for example, when you push a shopping cart, isang example yun ng kinetics dahil may applied force na push and starts moving because of the force you applied. Another example is when an apple falls from a tree, gravity is the force causing its motion. So, yun. Isang example siya ng free fall na ang nagkakos ng motion is the gravity. Now, ano nga ba yung pinagkaiba ng kinematics at kinetics? So, let me define what is kinetics and kinematics. So, sabi ko nga kanina, kinetics considers the forces that affects the motion. So, meaning, uh, kinoconsider nga niya yung mga forces, while kinematics only studies the motion itself. So, sa kinematics, it only describes the motion of an object. So, kinematics answers question like, how fast is the object moving? Kung gaano ba kalayo yung nararating ng object? And ano yung naging acceleration ng object? Those are the questions that kinematics answers. So, kung manonotice nyo, no, kinematics doesn't really explain why the object is moving. Now, on the other hand, yung kinetics naman, na-explain niya yung mga nagkakos ng motion. Like, what force made the object move? How much force is needed to accelerate it? So, yun. Maintindihan natin kinematics studies the motion, while kinetics studies the forces that causes the motion. Now, ano naman daw yung rectilinear translation? So, the word rectilinear means straight line. Translation means the object moves from one place to another without rotating. So, yung rectilinear translation simply means an object moves in a straight line without spinning or turning. So, Tingnan nyo tong example na dinrawing ko. Yan. So, imagine a car moving in straight road. Yan. Yan ay rectilinear. Now, sinabi naman na analysis as a particle. Kapag sinabi kasing analysis as a particle, yung rotation at yung turning o yung pag-spin ng isang object, also the size of the object is negligible and pwede natin siyang i-ignore kasi nga we treat the object as a particle. So, para lang siyang dot na ina-neglect natin o i-ignore natin yung possible rotation o pag-spin ng object. So, next is the types of forces. So, ayun, before solving any kinetics problem, we first need to identify the forces acting on the object. So, ito yung mga common forces na may encounter natin. First, yung applied force. Meron tayong applied force. So, ito yung force that pushes or pulls an object. Next is weight. So, weight is the force due to gravity and it always acts downward. Third is the normal force. So, the normal force is always acts perpendicular or at a right angle to the surface. Fourth is tension. So tension is the force transmitted through a rope, cable, or string when it is pulled. Next is friction. So friction is palaging opposite ng acceleration. While some surfaces, pwedeng smooth siya na pwedeng frictionless katulad ng ibang pulley na pwede siyang i-neglect. So, sa surface kasi 'di ba, alam natin na lahat ng surface is not perfectly smooth. May mga tiny dents katulad ng ganyan na kapag nag-push ka ng isang box, magkakaroon ng friction. Gates. So, ngayon naman is kung paano mag-draw ng free body diagram. So, ito yung FBD kong naka-ready. Yan. So, for example, no, a 10 kilogram box is pushed to the right by a 40 Newton force on a smooth floor. So, sinabing smooth floor, automatically wala na tayong friction. Dahil smooth nga siya, magiging frictionless yung surface. So ano-ano nga bang sinabi, no? Meron tayong given na weight, which is 10 kilogram box. Yan yung weight. Well, sinabi ko nga na opposite ng surface or perpendicular to the surface is the normal force. Now, may applied force tayong to the right. To the right. Na 40 N. So, determine natin, no, ano-anong force sila. So this is the applied force. Applied force. This is weight, and this is the normal force. So, since sinabing smooth floor siya, no, wala nang friction. So, ito yung naging FBD ng problem. So, sobrang importante na matuto tayong mag-drawing ng free body diagram because it shows all the external forces acting on an object. Isa to sa most important tool sa engineering mechanics because it helps us understand the forces before solving any equation. So, now that we know how to identify the forces acting on an object using a free body diagram, the next step is to determine how these forces affect the object's motion. So, dito na papasok si Newton's second law of motion. So, the second law of motion will explain the relationship between force, mass, and acceleration, and shows us how to solve kinetics problems. So with that, the next reporter will further explain the application of Newton's second law of motion.
Good day everyone. Ako nga po pala si Jom Lisario B. Adriano ng 2CEB. And today, I will be discussing application of Newton's second law of motion, also known as the law of acceleration. Before we start, let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever wondered bakit mas madaling itulak ang isang empty shopping cart kaysa sa isang shopping cart na puno ng groceries? O bakit mas mabilis na marangkada ang isang racing motorcycle kumpara sa isang truck? Ang sagot sa mga tanong na iyan ay ipapaliwanag ng Newton's second law. Bilang civil engineering students, mahalaga maintindihan natin ang konseptong ito dahil ginagamit ito sa pag-a-analyze ng movement ng iba't ibang objects at equipment na ginagamit sa construction tulad ng cranes, elevators, dump truck at excavator. Kaya sa presentation na ito, hindi lang natin aaralin ang formula, kundi alamin din natin kung paano ito ginagamit sa totoong buhay at sa engineering. Ito naman ang magiging flow ng ating discussion. Una, alamin natin kung ano ang Newton's second law of motion. Susunod ang formula na ginagamit natin, which is ang summation of F is equals to ma. So, pagkatapos, i-explain natin ang relationship ng force, mass, at acceleration. Makikita rin natin ang iba't ibang application nito sa kinetics at sa civil engineering. Sa uling bahagi ng discussion, sasagot tayo ng dalawang sample problems para makita natin kung paano ginagamit ang formula sa actual computation. Kaya sa pagtatapos ng presentation na ito, inaasahan ko maintindihan natin hindi lang ang formula o tip, kundi pati ang logic kung bakit ganoon ang relationship ng force, mass at acceleration. Ano nga ba ang Newton's second law? Ang Newton's second law states that accelerate upon object depends on the net force acting on its mass. Sa madaling salita, dalawa ang pangunahing factors na nakaka-apekto sa acceleration ng isang object. Una ay ang force, dalawa ay ang mass. Kapag mas malaki ang force na inilalagay natin sa isang object, mas malaki rin ang mga magiging acceleration nito. Pero kapag mas mabigat ang object, mas malaki ang mass nito. Mas mahirap itong pabilisin. Halimbawa, isipin natin na may dalawang kahon. Ang unang kahon ay walang laman, ang pangalawang kahon ay puno ng semento. Kung pareho natin silang itutulak gamit ang parehong lakas, Alin kaya ang unang gagalaw? Siyempre, ang mas magaan na kahon. Bakit? Dahil mas maliit ang mass nito. Ito mismo ang gustong ipakita ng Newton's second law. Hindi sapat na malakas lang ang force. Kailangan ding isaalang-alang kung gaano kabigat ang object. Ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin ang formula. Ang pangunahing equation ay sigma or summation of F is equals to MA. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng bawat symbol? Ang sigma F ay nangangahulugang net force. Ang salitang net ay nangangahulugang kabuuang force na kumikilos sa object matapos pagsamahin ng lahat ng forces. Halimbawa, kung may nagtutulak na 100 newtons pakaharap at may frictions at 20 newtons pabalik, ang net force ay hindi 100, kundi 80 newtons lamang. Ang M ay mass. Ito ang sukat kung gaano karaming matter ang laman ng isang object. Ang unit nito ay kilograms, samantala ang A ay acceleration. Ito ang pagbabago ng velocity kada segundo. Ang unit nito ay meters per second squared. Pwede rin nating i-arrange ang formula. Kapag acceleration ang hinahanap, A is equals to F divided by M. Kapag force naman ang unknown, F is equals to MA. Kaya napakalaga na alam natin kung paano i-arrange ang equation depende sa given at hinahanap. Sa slide na ito, makikita natin ang relationship ng tatlong variables. Unahin natin ang force. Kapag tumataas ang force, tumataas din ang acceleration. Halimbawa, kapag nagtutulak tayo ng wheelbarrow, kung konti lang ang effort natin, mabagal itong gagalaw. Pero kapag mas malakas ang pagtulak natin, mas bibilis ang movement nito. Ngayon naman, tingnan natin ang mass. Kapag tumataas ang mass, bumababa naman ang acceleration. Halimbawa, isipin natin ang dalawang sasakyan, isang sedan at isang fully loaded dump truck. Kahit pareho silang may engine force, mas mabilis pa rin mag-accelerate ang sedan dahil mas maliit ang mass nito. Kaya masasabi natin na ang force at acceleration ay directly proportional, habang ang mass ay acceleration ay inversely proportional. Ito ang pangunahing konsepto na dapat nating tandaan sa Newton's second law. Dito naman ay mas makikita natin ang epekto ng force. Kapag constant ang mass, ang tanging nagbabago ay ang force. Habang lumalaki ang force, lumalaki rin ang acceleration. Isipin natin ang isang football. Kapag mahina lang ang pagsipa natin, mabagal lang itong gagalaw. Pero kapag malakas ang pagsipa natin, mas mabilis itong lilipad. Pareho pa rin ang football. Ang nagbago lang ay ang force. Ganito rin ang nangyayari sa mga sasakyan. Kapag mas malakas ang engine force, mas mabilis ang acceleration ng sasakyan. Ngayon naman ay may simple question tayo. Which will move faster after being pushed? A block of foam or a heavy brick? Why? Bago magbigay ang sagot, isipin muna natin. Pareho ang force na gagamitin. Ano ang pagkakaiba nila? Ang mass. Ang tamang sagot ay ang block of foam. Dahil mas maliit ang mass nito, mas madali itong mapabilis. Ang heavy brick naman ay nangangailangan ng mas malaking force para magkaroon ng parehong acceleration. Ito ang dahilan kung bakit mas madaling buhatin, itulak o igalaw ang mga magagaan na bagay. Sa slide naman na ito, mas ang ating babaguhin habang pareho ang force. Habang lumalaki ang mass, mas bumababa ang acceleration. Halimbawa, isipin natin ang isang empty wheelbarrow at isang wheelbarrow na puno ng hollow blocks. Kung pareho natin silang itutulak gamit ang parehong lakas, alin ang mas mabilis? Siyempre ang walang laman. Dahil mas maliit ang mass nito. Civil engineering, napakalaga nito. Halimbawa, kapag nagbubuhat ang crane ng mabigat na concrete beam, hindi ito pwedeng biglang umangat na mabilis. Kailangan itong gumamit ng sapat na force para ligtas na may angat ang beam. Kaya ginagamit ng engineers ang Newton's second law upang matiyak na tama ang force na kailangan at ligtas ang operasyon. Ngayon naman, pag-aaralan natin kung paano tayo magsosolve ng problems gamit ang Newton's second law. Ang unang step ay ang free body diagram o FBD. Dito natin dinodrawing ang object at lahat ng force na kumikilos dito, tulad ng applied force, weight, normal force, at friction. Napakalaga ng FBD dahil dito natin makikita kung alin ang nagtutulak at alin ang kumukontra sa movement ng object. Ang pangalawang step ay identify the forces. Siguraduhin natin tama ang values at direction ng bawat force. Ang pangatlong step ay ang paggamit ng equation na summation of is equals to FMA. Pagkatapos ay substitute ang given values at isolve ang equation. At ang huling step ay check the units. Dapat ang mass ay nasa kilogram, ang force ay nasa newtons, at ang acceleration ay nasa meters per second squared. Una ay drawing natin ang free body diagram. Upward newton, downward weight equals to mg. F equals to 50 newton. Net force, dimension of Fx, 50 newton. Dahil walang binigay na friction, ang gagamitin natin ay summation of F is equals to MA. Sulat natin given F is equals to 50 newton, M is equals to 10 kilogram. Ang hanap natin ay ang acceleration. Sa formula ng F is equals to MA, makukuha natin ang acceleration sa pamagitan ng F is equals to over M. Pa-plugin lang natin yung F bilang 50 at yung M na 10. Pag dinivide natin yan, makukuha natin sa gaday 5 meter per second squared. Gagawa ulit tayo ng free body diagram. Motorcycle. Force of 600 Newton. Mass niya ay 120 kilogram. 20 kilogram. Summation of Fx equals to 600 Newton. Tulad ng kanina, dahil walang friction na binigay, ang gagamitin natin ay summation of F is equals to MA. Tulad ng kanina, sulat natin yung given. F equals to 100 Newton. Ang F naman natin ay equals to 20 kilogram. Tulad ng kanina, galing sa formula ng F is equals to MA. A is equals to F over M. Lagyan natin Fi 600 and 20 mm. Pag kinupit natin yan, makuha natin ay 5 meter per second squared. Yan ay sagot. To summarize our discussion, natutunan natin na ang Newton's second law explains the relationship between force, mass, and acceleration. Using the equation, summation of F equals to ma, mas malaki ang force, mas malaki ang acceleration. Pero kapag mas malaki ang mass, mas maliit naman ang acceleration. Kung pareho lang ang force, bilang future civil engineers, mahalaga maintindihan natin ang law na ito dahil ginagamit ito sa pag-analyze ng movements ng ibang structures, vehicle, at construction equipment. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, so good day to all of you. My name is Josangelo A. Calalo, and today I'm going to discuss all about kinetics of rectilinear translation, specifically all about inclined planes. And so first, i-define muna natin yung kinetics of rectilinear translation for review lang. So, kinetics is the study of motion and forces causing motion. While rectilinear translation, rectilinear, it means in a straight line, and translation, it means all particles of that body move the same distance and the same direction. So, kung isa-sum up natin yung definition, it is the study of forces acted upon a body that is moving in a straight line where all particles are in translation. No? Ganun. Okay, so, ito yung baba natin. Ayan. So, ito yung example ng figure ng isang inclined plane problem. So, an inclined plane, the motion is also affected depending on the orientation of its surface. Okay? So, may iba't ibang key components sa ganitong types of problems. First, pag-usapan natin syempre is yung weight. Weight, no? Ito. So, weight is the force caused by gravity pulling a body downward. And it is directed syempre sa center of gravity. Ngayon, magkakaroon ng angle to kasi, ayun nga, naka-incline yung plane. Hindi siya directed dito. Hindi siya nakadirekta mismo sa gitna ng body. Kumbaga dito siya. Kasi, vertical force lang yung weight. Then, next, pag-usapan natin yung friction. So, pag nagsisolve ako ng ganitong friction problems, lagi ko ini-indicate yung ganito. Yung direction ng motion. So, ang meaning nito, ibig sabihin, this body is moving upward. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, merong opposing force created sa contact ng incline and ng body, and yung opposing force na yun, ang tawag dun ay friction force. Okay, so ito siya. Another force affecting motion is friction. It is the force opposing the motion created through the contact of two surfaces. Okay, so inclined plane, inclined friction, weight. Next, lastly is yung friction force. Yung normal force. And so normal force, it is the perpendicular push that a surface exerts on an object resting on it. So once again, nakikreate to through the contact of two surfaces. Okay, so tapos sa friction, may tinatawag tayong coefficient of friction and normal force. Kumbaga, pag pinag-multiply lang sila, you'll get the friction force. And okay, so move forward na agad tayo sa problem solving. So ito, the coefficient of kinetic friction under block A in the The coefficient of kinetic friction under block A in the figure below is 0.3, and under block B, it is 0.2. Find the acceleration of the system and the tension in each chord. So, pinakita na agad yung answer dito. So, yung acceleration daw dapat is 1.46 meter per second squared. Okay, so, ito na. So, tanggalin muna natin to. So, sa figure na to, 'di ba? Makikita natin syempre, lagay ulit tayo ng arrow. Lagay muna natin to, yung mga friction force and normal force. So, assumption ko lang, ang movement ng block ng system ay acceleration is, ibig sabihin, itong set na to, block A and block B, will be moving forward. 'Di ba? While si block C will be moving downward. And acceleration is downward. So, pag ganito, pag ganyan yung flow ng system. Okay. Ngayon, merong tension, 'di ba? Merong tension dito. So, kapag i-label out natin, this will be tension 1, 'di ba? Same with this, tension 1 din to. Tension 1. Ito naman, tension 2. Tension 2. Tapos, since same chord lang to, magiging tension 2 din to. Ganyan. Ngayon, to find acceleration, kailangan natin kailangan natin bumuo ng isang equation wherein everything is in terms of A. And paano natin magagawa yun? Yung magpaparelate sa kanila is through these tensions. No? Okay, so solve muna natin. First, solve natin yung isa't isang block. So, focus tayo ngayon muna sa block A. So, ang ginagawa ko, naglalagay talaga ako ng axis dito para mas magets ko siya. Pag ganyan. Tapos, pag ganito. Extend ko. Tapos, pag ganito. Okay. So, kung makikita nyo, ang weight daw dito is 100 Newton. So weight 100 Newton. Okay. Tapos, meron tension 1. Ito yung incline na ito. Yung sinishade ko na yan. So, ibig sabihin, tension 1 is pa ganito. Tension 1. Okay. Tapos, since pataas yung movement, ibig sabihin, friction is pababa. So, ito. Friction A. Tapos, perpendicular sa incline, yung normal force, which is ito naman. So, normal force A. Ngayon, makikita nyo yung angle ng incline is 30 degrees. So, bakit naging ganyan? Kasi, pag ginanito nyo, so 30 degrees, 90 degrees to. 'Di ba? Ay, kumbaga bali mag-imagine ka lang ng right triangle diyan. So 30 degrees tapos maging 60 degrees to. 'Di ba? Tapos ngayon, since to, 'di ba? Perpendicular with each other. Ito yung incline tapos yung normal force. So 60 minus 90, 'di ba? 60 minus 90 kasi 90 to. So 60 minus 90 is 30. Tapos ito ulit, perpendicular naman to. Ito, tapos ito. So, 90 minus 30, 60. Tapos, na yan, sunod-sunod na yan na ganyan. Ulit-ulit na ganyan. Yan. Kaya, nagiging 60 degrees yung incline and yung weight. Kasi ganyan. Okay. Anyway, so, yan. So, sulat natin, block A. Okay, solve na natin, no? So, kailangan natin in terms of acceleration. So, first, ayun pala. Yung motion, no? Kasi upward, okay. So, summation of, pa pala? Ito yung y-axis, di ba? Ito yung x-axis. Ito yung magiging x prime axis, tas ito yung y prime axis. So, summation of forces sa incline, which is yung x prime axis, since nandun yung movement, kasi hindi naman to mag-move upward, di ba? Ganyan, upward or downward. Mag-i-slide lang yan pag ganito. So, right or left lang. Ibig sabihin, yung summation of forces sa x prime is equal sa MA yung law of acceleration nga. Tapos yung summation sa forces sa y prime is equal to 0. Okay. Ngayon, important key factor din to. Kapag nag-a-assign kayo ng sign convention sa ganito, kung nasan yung motion, dapat yung direction is towards sa motion. So, ito, since to the right, ibig sabihin, dapat to the right yung positive. Okay? Tapos ito, regardless of ano naman to. Lagay ko na lang ganyan. Okay, so, looking at sa x prime axis, makikita natin na merong tension 1 na to the right, so positive. Merong friction A, negative. Tapos may component C, weight. So, since to the left then, 100. Tapos yung connecting angle niya is 60. So, cosine 60 degrees is equal to yung mass ng body. Move natin to. Mass ng body, so 100 divided by 9.81 times yung acceleration. Okay, so kung para in terms of acceleration natin, move lang natin to. So magiging FA plus 100 cosine 60 plus 109.81 acceleration. Ngayon, tulad ng sabi ko kanina, ang formula for friction is coefficient of friction multiplied sa normal force. Hindi pala nakita dito, ano. So, ang coefficient of friction daw ng block A, 0.30, while si block B is 0.20. Okay. Sige nga, sulat nga natin. Sulat natin dito. Wait lang. Coefficient of friction block A 0.30 ng block B 0.20. Yan. Okay, so para makuha natin yung normal force, kailangan natin mag-summation ng y prime. So positive si NA, negative si weight 100. Tapos ano ba yung angle na connect doon? Ano ba yung angle na naka-connect dito sa y prime? So 30 degrees. Ibig sabihin 100 cosine 30 degrees is equal to 0. Okay, so solve lang natin sa calculator. 100 cosine 30 is 86.60254 newtons. Okay. So substitute natin dito. T1 is equal to 0.20. Tama ba? 30 pala. 0.30 multiplied sa 86.60254 plus 100 cosine 60 plus 109.81 times sa acceleration. So, yan na si T1. Okay? Tapos, move na tayo sa block B. So, ganun ulit. Natin ito dito. Tapos ito dito. Ayan. So, ito si weight na 200. Ito si normal force. So, si NB. Tapos, ito si tension 2. Tapos, dito sa baba, magiging dalawa siya kasi, tingnan nyo, may tension 1 and may tension 2. So, tension 1 and friction B. Pababa yan, So, lagyan natin yung angles ulit dito, 60 and 30. Okay. Motion niya, lagyan natin upward. Acceleration niya is upward. Ayan. Okay na, no? Okay, so, ganun ulit. To the right, positive summation of forces sa x prime is equal to MA. So, positive si tension 2, negative si tension 1, negative si friction B, and negative c weight na 200 cosine 60 is equal to but m over a to wg over a, yan, is equal to 209.81 times acceleration. Okay. Ngayon, hanapin ulit natin si friction B kasi kaya natin siya mahanap pag nag-summation forces tayo sa y prime axis is equal to 0. So, normal force minus 200 cosine 30 is equal to 0. So, ulit natin, 200 cosine 30, 173. And B is equal to 173.20508 newtons. Okay? Tapos, ma-substitute natin si T1, mahanap natin si friction B, ang wala tayo tension 2. And mahanap natin siya dito, no, kay block C. So, solve muna natin si block C. Kumbaga kay block C, tension 2 lang ang niya. No. Tension 2. And yung weight niya na 300. Okay, so, pag nag-summation of forces, y-axis tayo is equal to MA. Once again, ilagay muna yung direction of motion. Diba, pababa to? Ibig sabihin, downward positive dapat. No. Ibig sabihin dito, 300 na weight minus tension 2 is equal to 309.81 A. Tapos, transpose natin, magiging 300 minus 309.81 times A. So, meron tayong tension 2. So, kung isa-substitute natin lahat dito substitute natin yung T2 na to dito, yung T1 na to dito, and solve natin si FB, kaya na natin in terms of A lahat. Okay? So, yun na. Solve na natin. So, meron tayong sa T2, yun natin. Sulat natin maayos. So, 300 minus 309.81 A. Okay? Minus, bracket ulit natin, T1, 0.30 times 86.60254 plus 100 cosine 60 plus 109.81 times A, bracket. Okay? So, meron tayong T2. Meron tayong T1. Kailangan natin si friction B. Friction B, so, coefficient of friction, 0.20 times normal force, ito, 173.20508. Okay? Meron tayong friction B minus 200 cosine 60 is equal to 209.81 times A. So, para mapadali, simplify muna natin lahat ng pwedeng simplify. So, meron tayong dito, di natin may simplify to. So, 300. Kasi may variable, hindi nyo sila pwede pagsamahin. Minus, ito nga sa loob, pwede, di ba? 0.30. Ito, pwede to. Times 86.60254 is 25.98076. Ito rin. So, ganun na natin. So, okay na to. Ito, 100. Cosine 60 is 50 plus 50. So, lahat to So ito, hindi natin pwede ulit sama. So sulat na lang natin. Bracket. Okay. Wala na yan. Ito naman. Minus 0.20 times 173.20508. So 34.64102. May bumaba. Ayan. Ito rin, pwede natin simplify. 200 cosine 60. 100. Tapos lastly is 209.81. A. Ayan. So, input na lang natin to sa calculator. No? So, 300 minus 309.81. Ganyan. Minus 25.98076 plus 50 plus 109.81 alpha x, tapos yung close bracket, minus 34.64102 minus 100 is equal to 209.81 alpha x, no? Acceleration. Shift solve natin, lalabas dyan ay 1.46. Yan. Lalabas sa acceleration ay 1.46133 meter per second squared. So, ito na yung final answer. So, nakuha ba natin? Ito, 1.46. So, that's all lang po. Thank you for listening. Tapos, move forward na tayo sa next reporter natin, si Miss Cabarles.
So, good day everyone. Today I will discuss the connected particle systems involving a police and ropes. So, this topic uses a Newton's second law to analyze the motion of two or more objects connected by a rope. So, we will learn how to draw free body diagrams and identify the forces acting on each object, and solve for the acceleration and tension in this system. So, a connected particles is a system where two or more objects are connected by a light or massless inextensible rope passing over one or more frictionless pulleys. So, because the rope cannot stretch, so all connected objects moves with the same magnitude of acceleration, although they may move in opposite direction. So, next is the common forces include, so weight, it is acts downward, and then tension acts along the rope, and then a normal force, it present if the object is on a surface, and then friction, opposite motion if the surface is raw. And then let's proceed on how to solve a problem. So first, we need to draw the free body diagrams, or the FBD, and then choose a positive direction for each object. Next is we need to apply Newton's second law, or summation of F equals ma multiplied by acceleration. And then next is write one equation for each object, and then solve the simultaneous equation to find acceleration and tension. So let's talk about how we can solve this problem. So we have a 15 kilogram box and it is raised on a horizontal frictionless surface. So in each attached to 5 kilogram box, now we need to do is calculate the acceleration of the system. So how can we do if you want to try? So this problem, feel free to pose. So we will proceed for our first example. So problem number 1, a 50 kilogram box rests on a frictionless horizontal surface attached to to a 50 box as shown acceleration of the system. So letter B, we need to solve the tension in the rope. That I like to do it in order to find the acceleration. So this is like to use Newton's second law, the net force acceleration, So therefore, if you solve for the acceleration, so the acceleration is going to be the net force, which you can write it like this. You can write it like this if you want to try. So let's proceed to the solution of our problem. So the given is so the mass 1 is 15 kilograms and then the mass 2 is 5 kilograms, and then we have a magnitude which is 9.81 meters per second squared. So first is we need to find the acceleration of the system and then the tension in the rope. So first is we need to divide it by the total mass of the system. So now the only force that causes this entire system to move in this direction is basically the weight of this object. So now let's call this a mass 2. And so based on the figure, so this one is called mass 2 and then this one is we call the mass 1. So the weight of this object is basically magnitude, but we need to use the mass 2, so which is 5 kilograms. So because mass 2 causes the entire system to fall down. So and then you want to divide it by the total mass of the system, that is our mass 1 plus mass 2. So if you increase mass 1, the acceleration of the system is decreased. So the more inertia that this object has, the resistance that going to be present. So it's going to be harder to move the mass because it's more inertia. So now this is the same equation that I wrote earlier in the video. So as you can see, the acceleration is the net force, then the dividing force is the weight. So it's the weight force that causes everything to cause the whole system to move to the right and the downward direction, and then divided by the total mass of system, so which is the mass 1 plus mass 2. So now let's go ahead and get the answer for this problem. So let's start with the acceleration. So the mass 2, so mass 2 is 5 kilogram. So this one is mass 2, the 5 kilogram. And then we have a value of our magnitude, which is the 9.81 meters per second. So so ne- next is the value of our mass to 5 kilograms multiplied by 9.81 meters per second. So the answer is 49 newtons. So 49. The value of our mass 1, which is 15. So we need to add by our mass 2, which is 5. So that's going to be 20. So 49 over. So we have a value of this one. So 49 over. So we have a value of 49 over 20 kilogram. So it's going to be a 49 newtons divided by total mass, which is a 20 kilograms. So the acceleration of the whole system is 2.45. So 2.45. So this is the total of our acceleration. So the total acceleration is 2.45 meters per second squared. So next, we need to calculate the tension in the rope. So the easiest way to do is using the equation, the mass 1 acceleration. So we have 15 kilograms. We need to multiply by the total of our acceleration, which is 2.45 meters per second squared. So multiplied 15 multiplied by 2.45. So the tension is 36.75. So this is the value of our. So this is the value.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. So before we end our lesson, let us first conclude about the topics discussed by the earlier reporters. Just to refresh our minds. Without further ado, let's start. So, mabilis lang naman to. First, kinetics. Kinetics is the branch of dynamics that studies about the relationship between forces acting on a body and the motion that those forces produce. So, meaning, if an object, if I apply the force on an object, for example, if I push a box, so what what do those force produce? So, it produces motion. Yan. So, when analyzing a body as a particle, we assume that the object has mass but has no shape or size, and the rotation is ignored and only the motion of its center of mass is considered. Yan. Yan. So, you may be wondering, anong difference niya sa kinematics? So, kinetics answers the question, why does an object move, while kinematics answers the question, how does the object move? So anyway, kinetics involve force and mass, while kinematics does not involve force and mass. And also, kinetics focuses on force, mass, and acceleration. And it has a formula which uses the formula Newton's second law, which is discussed by the second reporter. Next, the kinematics, which focuses on displacement, velocity, acceleration, and time, that uses equations of motions. And next natin is type of forces. So it is stated by the first reporter. There are types of forces like the applied force, the applied forces, the weight of the particle, the normal force that counteracts the weight of the particle, the tensional force or tension, tensile force or tension, and frictional force. Mm. So next, units. Um, Units. So the unit of force is Newton, and it has a symbol of big letter F. The unit of weight is kilogram, and it has a symbol of big letter W. The symbol of acceleration is small letter A and has a unit of meter per second squared, while the symbol of velocity is letter V, small letter v, which has a unit of meter per second. Yan. So next natin, Newton's law, Newton's second law, or law of acceleration. Yan. So in law of acceleration, or Newton's second law of motion, it has the most important principle in kinetics. So its formula is summation of forces is equals to mass times acceleration. The summation of forces is the net force acting on the particle. The mass is m is the mass or in kilograms. A is the acceleration in meter per second squared. So it states that if there is no force, then there is no acceleration. Then the object stays at rest or moves with constant velocity. If the acceleration occurs, the motion stays in motion. And for example, para mas madali nating isipin, no? So, pag pinupush mo yung cart, since may acceleration, there is motion. Since sa walang acceleration, if hindi mo pinush yung cart, or if pinupush mo yung cart at constant acceleration, hindi ka bumibilis or hindi ka rin bumabagal, it has a constant velocity. Then, a particle is at rest. And may sinabi din dito na the greater the mass, the acceleration decreases. So, or if the mass increases, the acceleration decreases. Meaning, um, if a heavier object cannot be moved or accelerates slower. So, for example na lang is, if I push an empty cart and I pushed a fully loaded cart, um, the heavier cart accelerates less, or the empty cart um, accelerates more. So that's basically it for our conclusion. And now we're going to solve a problem. So let's go. I have a problem ready here. So a 10 kg block A rests on a 25-degree incline with a coefficient of kinetic friction of 0.15. It is connected by a light rope over a frictionless pulley to a 15 kg hanging block B. Draw the free body diagram for each block. Determine the normal force on block A, the frictional force acting on block A, the acceleration of the system, and the tension in the rope. Yan. So, ang hinahanap dito is yung normal force ng block A, frictional force ng block A, acceleration ng system, tension sa rope, tsaka free body diagram. So, ang given natin is 10 kg block A on a 35 incline, coefficient of kinetic friction 0.15, and the frictionless pull to a hanging block B, which is 15 kg. So, ito yung FBD natin, which I draw. So, ayan, ito yung weight ng block A, ang normal force, frictional force, and then may tension dito, and then dito. Tsaka nakalimutan ko din yung weight na nandito dapat. Yan, sa block B. Tapos may 25-degree incline tayo. So, para mapadali buhay natin, let's move into this next um, image. So, gumawa ako dito ng um, X and Y axis na parallel along the incline para di na tayo mahirapan mag-compute para maging um, along the X and Y axis na lang yung normal force, frictional force, at then yung tension natin. Parang weight na lang magkakaroon ng angle. Ayan. So, ayun na step 1 natin, which is free body diagram. Next is, ayan pala yung mga given natin sa task, and next is yung normal force. So, to get the normal force, we have to get the weight of the object or the y component ng weight is equals to normal force. Yan. Which is, yan, 10 kg times 9.81 cosine 25, and that will give us 88.91. And a normal force natin. So next is friction. 0.15, which is the kinetic coefficient of friction, times mo sa 88.91 Newton, and we will have 13.34 Newton. So next is, sorry, step 4 to So next is the weight component along the incline. So it is yung weight ng block A natin along the incline. So ang kukunin natin is the X component ng weight natin. So ito yun. Parang dito sa part. Parang ito. Parang ito. Yan. Yan. So, yan. 10 times 9.81 sine 25 is equals to 41.45. Yan. So, next is net driving force or yung force natin. Ang forces natin at B. Ay, sorry, forces natin. So, meron tayo sa B na 15 kg times 9.81 since that's the weight. Ito, may weight yan pababa dito na hindi nasa block B. Kasi ito yung tension niya. So, minus 14.45, which is the weight ng block A along the incline, minus 30.34 ng friction, and that will give us 92.36 Newton. So, the total mass naman ng two blocks is 10 plus 15, which is 25 kg. And acceleration, formula of acceleration is force over mass. So force, which is 92.36 over 25, is equals to 3.69 meter per second squared. Next is tension. So 147.15, which is ito yun, minus tension, is equals to 3.69 meter per second squared. 15 is the mass, and then 3.69 is the acceleration. And that will give us 91.8 Newton. So, meron tayong tension, acceleration, friction, and then normal force. Okay. So, na-determine natin yung normal force. Ayan, na-determine natin normal force. Determine na natin frictional force, acceleration, and yung tension sa rope. And nakapag-drawing na rin tayo ng free body diagram. So that's basically it to our sample problem. So, yan. Well, that's all for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed our report for today, and I hope you learned something. And thank you very much. And the lesson will end for today. Thank you.